Thank you, sir. I was honored and pleased when the worthy Grand Matron and worthy Grand Patron asked me to speak today on engaging your community. And so I gave thought to what does that mean, and I came across three things that I think you'll agree with me are true. One is that hardly anyone outside our membership has a clue what the Eastern Star is about or what it does. 99% of your town won't join your chapter because they have no clue what you do or who you are. And thirdly, I think most chapters want to give back to their communities, but the communities aren't involved in deciding what the chapter will do that will benefit them. This reminded me at this point that while those things are true, my high school speech teacher told me that you must always incorporate humor into your public presentations. A, it lightens the load of having to sit there for all these minutes, and secondly, you can find out by who's laughing who actually is listening to you. So with that in mind, I Googled jokes about engaging your community. Strangely, I could find none. So I've decided to tell you a joke that I like that has nothing to do with the topic. This will enable me to figure out who's listening and also to find out your level of attention. So Kermit the Frog one day was driving along in his automobile and he was going to meet his love for lunch. And Kermit was so excited about this prospect that he parked his car in front of the restaurant in a no parking zone. After his assignation with Miss Piggy, he went back to his car, and to his surprise, Kermit the Frog's car was missing. It was gone. Do you know what happened to his car? It was towed. Okay, so we've got the attention of at least half of you. That's a good thing. Let's talk about what we're going to speak about today. We're going to talk about what is engaging your community. What does that mean? Why your chapter should engage your community, some events that will help you in that regard, and lastly, the positive effects if you will engage in your community. Another bit of humor. You've all heard of Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong. But how many of you heard of Cole's Law? It's a julienne of cabbage and some creamy dressing. I thought that was entirely appropriate, didn't you, Betty? So what is engaging your community? Engaging your community is reaching out, opening the curtain, and touching those who are in your town. We're a secret, and I think you'll recognize that. Most non-members don't have a clue what we do or why. So let's think about ways non-members will gain a first impression of our chapters. I suggest you think about making a 2-year or a 5-year plan to keep the momentum moving. It shouldn't be just the year of one matron or one patron. But let's question why you would ever want to do this. Why should your chapter engage your community? If we want to do charitable things in our community, they need to know who we are and what we are and not fear us and not find us to be a secret. Because as I said, 99% of your town are not members and don't know why they should be members. So in a sense, engaging in your community can have a positive advertising effect, advertising your good deeds and what you do, and it'll have a beneficial effect on increasing membership, which we're all interested in doing. So ask for input from the town to provide ideas for where your program should be provided, where your charitable outreach should benefit. Because those who are involved in helping you make the decision will buy into the program and find it to be beneficial, and they'll think it's a good idea when you do it. If you get town members involved in your decision processes, it'll result in their interest in your programs, and we all benefit from the new ideas and innovative thinking that will come from that process. So for example, if you ask town members to get involved in your selection of scholarship recipients or to spread out applications for scholarships, it gets them involved in the prospect of your program, gets them to realize what good work you're doing, and some of them will be interested in joining you. Let's talk about some specific events that would help. Sponsoring an informational session on a town issue might be valuable in many communities. A school construction proposal, a change to the highway system, a matter needing discussion. Why not have our chapter be the group that gets the citizens together to talk with their government representatives, be the sponsor of that entity? Secondly, we could ask for input on what the chapter should do charitably. Most of us give away scholarships. We all should be getting involved in providing therapy dogs. Maybe we need to get involved in a park cleanup. Why not have a discussion where the town establishes ideas for us, for our charitable outreach? They'll buy into it, they'll realize we're doing good things, and they'll probably have a favorable impression of us, where before they thought we were simply a secret order that they didn't understand. Why not honor your teachers or your government leaders, your town or village council members, with a dinner and invite the town to come in to show that you appreciate their volunteer service to the community? It shows you're good citizens, and benefit is also that the town will find out they like the same things you do and they honor the same things you do. Why not have an award scholarship, whether it's band, academic, or other form of scholarship, at an awards night, and invite all of the community to come in and watch the awards ceremony where you award your scholarships? Again, they'll get a favorable impression of what you think is a good idea. How about sponsoring a seminar to show what therapy dogs do and why you provide them to the community? With luck, an opportunity will arise to actually provide a therapy dog to someone in your community. And while you're there, past matron Betty would ask that you solicit a donation or two for OES Star Dogs of Nebraska, Inc., our 501c3 charity. Create a long-range plan for outreach in your community. Again, don't make it be a one-year program. If you only do this once, it's not going to reach many people. The second or third time you honor your city's leaders, you'll get a better attendance. You'll be more effective every time that you have an event, so repeat them. Eventually, word will spread. Word of your chapter's good deeds will spread, and you'll find it a much easier time getting people to support you and join you, hopefully. You won't always be in charge. Your year as matron or patron or as conductress passes by very quickly. So why not have a long-range repetitive plan that your successors can build on and make better? Another true story from the annals of humor. Worthy Grand Patron Bruce and his best buddy were out hunting deer one day, and they were lucky enough to shoot a big deer, and they were dragging it by the rear legs back to the truck when a park ranger came by. And he pointed out that the hide on a deer goes to the back of the animal so they can get through bushes without getting tangled. So he suggested that if Bruce and his buddy would simply turn around and drag the deer by the antler end, that it'd be much simpler to drag the deer back to the truck because it was quite heavy. And so after a while of doing that, Bruce's buddy said, you know, the ranger was right, Bruce, this is a lot easier. And Bruce said, yeah, that's true, but we're getting further and further from our truck. Now, how does that tie into what we've been talking about? I finally found a way to tie it in. Many of our chapters are dragging the easy way, but they never reach their goals. If you want to achieve a goal of community involvement, community engagement, and better advertising, go engage your communities. And I know it's the hard way, but it's well worth doing. Thanks for the opportunity to be here and to talk to you.